Welcome to Linguistic Scholars YouTube channel. Today, in this video, we are going to look at some of the basic concepts in phonetics. They are phone, phoneme, and allophone. These are basic and very important topic for all the examinations. So, please take notes by just copying the content from the slides so that it becomes easy for you to understand before the examination. So, what is a phone? A phone is a phonetic unit or a segment. Here, segment is any linguistic unit written in square brackets. In general, the phone means sound, but we are not referring to any general sounds such as like the tick, the sound of clock, the sound of bikes, and other sounds. Okay, here we are referring to the phonetic units which are produced as part of our speech, and they are basically written in square brackets as you can see here. For example, the aspirated sound P sound at the start of the word pen. At the start of the word pen is a phone because this sound is produced as part of production of this sound pen, right? So it's become a phoneme because it's a linguistic unit. Got it? And next, phoneme. Phoneme is an abstract phonological unit. It's an abstract phonological unit of distinctive value that is represented or realized by a certain phone, and that changes meaning when swapped with another sound written by slash. Okay, they are written between the slashes. Let's say if I take the same word pen, here we have a phoneme pen, but it is realized as aspirated in the production of the word pin, right? So this is a phoneme, okay, which is an abstract phonological unit because while you are producing in the sound pin, it's actually realized by the phone p, aspirated p, right? So this is an abstract notion, and this is a real sound production with aspiration. Okay, so this become a phone. This is a phoneme, and the phoneme is written in the between the slashes, whereas phone is written between the square bracket. The English phone poo, you swap poo with poo in the pat. Okay, when I say pat, but it is replaced, the phoneme is replaced by b, it become bat, right? It completely changed the meaning of the word. So, but by changing the phone, there is much difference. As you can, let's say I have produced the word pen with the aspiration and with unreleased, let's say, but it is not possible in the regular speech. Okay, and it is pin, it is pen. Okay, so it is unreleased, it is aspirated, but the same referring to the same entity pin, but it is not with possible with the swap of the phoneme. Okay, there, if you swap the phoneme, there must be a complete change of the meaning, and this is the one of the important feature in any language to identify whether a particular sound is a phoneme or a allophone in that language. Okay, here allophone is just a variant of a phoneme. For the phoneme p, we have three different allophones. Basically, they are phones, but with referring to one another, we call them as allophone. They are aspirated, unaspirated, and unreleased. These are the three variants of the phoneme p, and they are called as allophones with respect to one another, but in isolation, they are the realizations, they are the phones at the different position realized for the phoneme of p as a phone. As you can see, the aspirated p in pin versus the unaspirated p in spin. Okay, this is all about phone, phoneme, and allophone. Phone is a realization of the phoneme, and the allophone is the different variants of the phoneme. That's it. And this is phoneme, right? And this phoneme has multiple names and multiple concepts at the multiple levels. So we will try to understand. Okay, this is also called. This is basically phoneme, right? And this is phone, and we can call them as allophones as well. Okay, and this phoneme is also called as type, and the allophones are called as tokens. Okay, and this phoneme which is written in the slashes are also called underlying representation, phonemic representation, or broad transcription. And whereas the phones or the allophones are called as tokens, apart from that, they are called as phonetic representation or narrow representation and surface representation. We'll try to understand why they are called like these. So here the phoneme is called as underlying representation because when we are producing, we are not actually producing these sounds. As a result, they are called as underlying representations. Okay, but here we called it as narrow representation or surface representation because these are basically what we are producing while uttering a word. As a result, we call it as surface representations. Okay, allophones are surface representations, whereas phonemes are underlying representation. And per other phonemic representations, whereas allophones are the phonetic representations. Why they are phonetic representations? Because they are some extra feature basically added to the sounds while we are actually producing, which was absent at the level of phoneme. So as a result, the allophones are called as phonetic representation of the phoneme, whereas phoneme is just a phonemic representation. And the phoneme is also called as broad transcription because this is account for the two different allophones, right? So they are called as broad because they are broad in nature, and if you transcribe something with by using phonemes, and that transcription is called as broad transcription. But when you have transcribed any text with the allophones with using the tokens, and such transcription is called as narrow transcription, as you are accounting for very small features as well. So this is all about phoneme, phone, and allophone. So if you have any queries with respect to the topics in linguistics and apply linguistics, you can write to us on netjrfscholars@gmail.com. Please subscribe to our channel Linguistic Scholars for more interesting videos on linguistics and applied linguistics. So please do subscribe to our channel.